Cowboys. This, according to our Todd Archer, he was given the exclusive tag, which means no other team can sign him at this point. Stephen A., talk to me.
If I were Dak Prescott, my initial response is that I would plan on sitting out the season. You're not making a long-term commitment to me. Essentially, this is tantamount to a one-year deal. You're asking me to go out there and play on a one-year deal after the years of service that I've given you. 4 years, never missed a game, missed one practice. That made back page news, considering the dysfunctional environment that historically has been the Dallas Cowboys. The quarterback position for America's team is not just about throwing the football. It's about being that quintessential leader. I don't know specifically what Dak Prescott is asking for, so I don't want to engage in condemnation about Stephen Jones and my buddy Jerry Jones. But the reality is that if all Dak Prescott was asking for was to match the commitment that the Philadelphia Eagles made to Carson Wentz, and the Dallas Cowboys refused to do so, I consider that a colossal insult. It would be a smack in the face. And if I'm Dak Prescott, I'd sit out. I'd be looking to sit out the damn season, because if you don't trust me by now to believe in me and make the long-term commitment in me, especially even though it's not for the same numbers, when I just watched Ryan Tannehill have one good year out of 6 or 7, and he gets $118 million with $91 million guaranteed, and I'm sitting there and I'm having this kind of trouble with you, I don't even want to talk to you. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, I don't even want to talk to you if I'm Dak Prescott. I don't sign it. I stay home.
What this really comes down to me, why did the Cowboys wait until now to negotiate with Dak seriously? You know, when he turned down they reported $105 million, something like that. When they turned it down, I understand at that point people saying, okay, Dak, what do you want? They're there. You know, you should sign that. But why did they wait for a guy they drafted in the 4th round and they never had to pay? Why did they wait until the 11th hour, and by the way, 59th minute and 59th second, to give the guys a realistic offer? Make that offer a year ago. Even if we weren't sure about him a year ago. He'd showed you everything except almost elite production until this year he started showing it to you. Look, I still don't think Dak is a top 5 quarterback. I think Dak is arguably a top 10 quarterback, arguably. 10, 12. Who's ascending, though, who looks like he's heading toward the elite. Why would a franchise who's ultimately willing to spend $105 guaranteed not offer him that a year ago when that would have gotten the job done? This is now what happens. A relationship that might sour, a quarterback that could potentially sit out, and just a bad situation overall.
I 100% agree with both of you guys, and this is even more layered to me. Didn't we just watch Kirk Cousins get re-upped again by the Minnesota Vikings? Like, the insults continue to mount up, and I'm with you, Stephen A., when you think about what we've been having. First of all, to both of you guys' point, we've been talking about this for 2 years now. This is about to be a conversation we've been having with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott for a season and a half. Let's just say that. Now, when you look at this situation with him getting the franchise tag, and I want to belabor this point because everybody is going to try, well, you know that they just in the negotiating period and they're putting this exclusive tag on him. The point we're trying to make to everybody in America is it should not have ever gotten here. We just saw the Titans quarterback play half a season with the league-leading rusher and get a contract done, and the Dallas Cowboys are sitting idle. And oh, by the way, I want to mention that they paid everybody else. That's the most insulting thing. We can talk about all of these contracts outside of the Dallas Cowboys organization. They paid everybody else on the team. And maybe you significantly say, hey, we did that because we know that Dak needs all of this support in order to be a really good quarterback. But the bottom line is this. Quarterbacks get paid more than everybody else. Their contracts are not usually in a dispute unless you plan on getting rid of them. And the fact that we sitting here talking about Dak Prescott having the exclusive franchise tag after a year and a half talking about Dak Prescott should have a new contract is an insult. And to your point, Stephen A., like I said a few months ago, it is no way I wouldn't even mention the Cowboys' name until I had a deal done. There is nothing you can ask me if I'm Dak Prescott about the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's the point that I want to make, guys. Jerry Jones, obviously, we've talked about this. He believes that playing for the Cowboys, it's an honor. It's America's team, obviously nationally televised. Games, the brand, the commercials, endorsement deals, all of that stuff. And he believes that that has value. He's not wrong in that. But there's a flip side to it. Playing for the Cowboys also brings its headaches. It brings an elevated level of obligations that other teams don't have to, or other players for other teams don't have to be concerned about. So even though it gives a lot, one could argue it asks of you a lot more.
That's a great point.
Let's take the Colin Kaepernick situation into consideration and the position, the stance that Jerry Jones took. Did Jerry Jones ever sit back and ask himself, what if Dak Prescott didn't vibe with me at that particular moment in time? There wasn't another quarterback in tow. There wasn't Tony Romo that you could have pulled out of the broadcast booth and put him back into the lineup or anything like that. Dak Prescott didn't have to support Jerry Jones. He didn't have to support the Cowboys, but he did. He was a leader. He was accountable. He was trustworthy. He was a model citizen. Plus, he went out there and threw for damn near 5,000 yards. And for him to be in a position where 4 years in the league literally made back page news because he missed a practice in 4 years. When you consider how injury-prone Tony Romo was, it's inexcusable what they've done to him. It really is.
We'll have more on this. Let me get into a commercial break. He'll make $31 million next year. He made just $2 million last year, and obviously he has no long-term security. We will have much more on Dak Prescott when we come back on First Take. Also